It's Wednesday, it is Royal Hunt, Objective 2 and 3 day, and more things as well. Hello everybody, welcome to the MCN for Wednesday, your Humpty Humped edition of the show. So today you will be receiving your mojo. It's promo code day. Make sure to check your email accounts. We're not quite sure about the rollout. Kabam in the past did a kind of like start of the day, then end of the day, 2 waves rollout of those particular codes. So people will likely get them early, others may not do. So that's something to kind of note for everybody. Also, you can sign up for the early bird special supply drop for Purgatory, which is signups close on December 6th. So it's always interesting reading as to different thoughts about how people feel about champions changing and rebalances. We've seen in the last couple of days Northstar and Arcade having some improvements in some ways, but to others, other players feel differently about it. And one of those instances where, you know, robots and teddy bears, that's a cute name by the way, has a difference of opinion in the matter, and I think it's always important to look at what's the difference of opinion. I see it as a champion I don't personally use that now I'm more interested in using because it's changed to be quicker to get ramp up, but there may be some things I don't see. So this is all about trying to find that difference of opinion. And Robots and Teddies says, I know there's not a ton of us out there, but I'm one of a few big fans of Northstar. It's good to see. Proud owner of a 7-star rank 3 signature 110. This rebalance feels like a straight nerf of the character, and that was already in a nice niche spot in terms of champ built for Everest fights. He lags behind Kate in damage and speed, lacks the utility or Kate and Aegon, and doesn't provide any of the sustain that Wong provides. All of this is fine. He doesn't have to be a top tier character for me to love him. But this balance update capping his momentum from 10 to 6 means his SP1 slow goes from max duration of 30 seconds to 22 seconds, and physical resistance passive on the signature ability goes from max 26 seconds to 18 seconds, cutting down his already near non-existent utility. Okay, well that's interesting because I didn't see it from that perspective, and momentum is, and I just looked at it from, maybe I looked at it from the wrong perspective with this. I did it more of a perspective of was it the amount that it takes to ramp up? It just sucks that a champ who's already very much in the middle of the pack gets slapped even further down the line, whereas a champ like Arcade, who's basically one node away from being a nightmare defender, is getting what sounds like a pretty significant buff to his defensive prowess. I'm happy to hear if I'm missing thanks. It's more of a buff as they are making his ramp fast. That's how I read it. We'll have to see how it affects anything, but it should stay all the same. Yeah, I kind of like read this and I thought, oh man, I've got it wrong. I've got the wrong like take on it or something. Anyway, this is Kabam Mike says, we've decided to rebalance Northstar around max of 6 momentum. The goal is for his ceiling to be around the same place because we are happy with how he performs once he gets there, but easier and quicker to hit said ceiling within a fight. Yeah, so yeah, honestly, like I had a bit of a crisis where I was thinking to myself, oh, is this like I've completely gone the wrong kind of like way with this? But what Kabam was saying is like he can reach his ceiling, he can reach that 1 million or whatever, and that he needs to do like damage wise. It's just that he is taking too long to get there, and he should be doing it shorter. Like if you've got a champion like Aegon doing that damage within a quicker stat. It's not really a good example, but you know other champions. Storm's recent buff, like, and Juggernaut's ramp is really easy and quick. Hulk. His ramp is quick. You just build to 15 Furies and like SP1, permastun, Oblivion. Juggernaut, SP1, 10 and Energized, 10 Unstoppables, SP2, done. Storm, again, another example with it. Maybe they're trying to make him like Storm in that kind of way that it's quicker to get to that particular state, but it's shorter. Like it's not saying doing large amount of SPs, it's like a shorter amount of SPs, and you kind of like that. I don't know. That's how I read it, but maybe I read it wrong with that one. Wolf, what's Wolf say? It sounds like a decent buff to me. Have to see after, get hands on him. Just like we won't be able to stun lock opponents. Going from 10 to just 6 will make his ramp so much faster. Like build 2.5 bars active speed burst through SP2, and still be more about 1 power SP1, throw him immediately. This will give us 3 momentum, which will have the ramp for the buff version. Then a couple more SP1s, the pause, which will get to 5 momentum. By this time, speed burst expire, and we'll have the pause repeat cycle from start. Yeah, I don't know. It's thoughts in the comments about this one. Thoughts in the comments, but I think it's always best when these situations are get your hands on a champion, see if it does feel different, and then get annoyed at that fact if you feel that something has changed. I mean, Robot's kind of like very fair on this, saying like if it's a case of what they're pitching is the different way, then he's happy to take the L on it. I think it's just keeping players that have invested, and this is the big concern, because people may say, well, why are you talking about this? And it's the investment. This is the concern a lot of players have when it comes to anything rebalanced and changed. You are heavily investing into a champion. You don't know what the outcome will be. You have to rely on Kabam to keep something in place that's going to be good ongoing, because you heavily invested into it, because nowadays you're not given things like rank down tickets. So, I mean, I do see that there's always the fear with ranking up a champion they could change. So maybe that's why this player is cautiously cautious, not optimistic at the moment. On to an interesting band in global chat. MK7 says, so my friend and I both play MCC, and a couple months ago he wrote some really bad things in the global because we swap our phones, and now I'm banned. It's always nice to swap phones. Do they swap their partners? I don't know. Anyway, don't let people do this, because why would you? Why would you let somebody take your phone and kind of do something inappropriate with it? And like, don't share your account. Yeah, and that's perfectly it. It's very weird to kind of like, at least, you know, and even cite. This is I do find this quite funny. Where is it here? Yes, my phone's not an account, and there's nothing wrong with it. Even bigger players like Andrew LaRuff did it in one video, gave his phone to Legacy so he can open crystals. That's a bit different. Legacy's not gonna like come in and just write something inappropriate into global chat. That's opening up a crystal. It's a bit different. Or selling a champion. Don't think he's gonna do that. So, of course, very weird situation to be in, and yeah, like as Caban Pinwheel says, gonna go ahead and close this. Yep. General reminder for everyone to be nice. Here is where here as well in global, and remember that you're still responsible for your car, even if someone else is behind the wheel. That's true. So don't give people your account if you think that they are going to be good and just open crystals. No, they're probably going to put something inappropriate. Weird ban though. Everyone's thoughts, and ending the video on what do you think about the state of the game at the moment, especially going into the last few months. There's not a huge amount going on in the community. I think seeing us through to the weekend, we've got some Royal Hunt stuff. We've then got the Super Daily event on Friday. And maybe we'll see, I don't know, a Dazzler Battle Pass thing being announced. I don't know. It'd be nice to see a bit of stuff, because it's going to be being a bit stagnant at times in November. And then, of course, next week we've got Cyber Week deals. So that should be exciting. So there's some really weird times ahead. Now, seeing off the end of the show will be a little bit about state of the game at the moment. It's in a very weird situation of peaks and downs, ups and downs, and troughs. Is it peaks and troughs? I saw this post and I thought it'd be good to kind of like bring it into the show today for discussion and also kind of dissection, because there's some accuracies and some inaccuracies with stuff, and everything's down to personal opinion on where you feel the state of the game is at the moment. Hopefully going into the weekend we'll have some other kind of spicy things to talk about, but it's been a bit quiet, so I've just been enjoying making some videos. I've got some tier lists and other things I'm working on. But where's the state of the game for you? White Knight has this dissection on different areas that he thinks are good and bad. As I said the other day, Necropolis, amazing. Now a year old, can't see it getting anything that's good for 5-6 years, so nothing more needs to be said. That's a bit of a... I don't agree with that. 5 to 6 years, we'll probably have something next year. We've also had these, the Summer of Suffering, Autumn of Agony. We've had some stuff out there that has been done, so that kind of is meant to smooth over a year when they're not doing stuff. Incursions being boring. Again, each to their own. Some people like incursions, some people don't like incursions. This I agree with. It's one of a few things I do agree with this. Crucible, amazing piece of content. That I'll give a lot of props to. Side quests, so this isn't that bad. Well, side quest and monthly based content has had a little bit of a facelift. We've had things like Royal Hunt, we've had things like Omega Days, we've had stuff in there that's been spicing things up. So there's been some stuff that's been good and bad. Event Quest. I don't play Event Quest simply because the rewards don't align with where I'm at. Okay. Eternity of Pain, great, honestly great, and the rewards update was spot on. Eternity of Pain? Not being good? I don't personally agree with that. I didn't think Eternity of Pain was that well done. Even I think that some of these Summers of Pains and whatever, or Summer of Sufferings, have been better introductions because they're quick and snappy. The Gauntlet's quick and snappy. Eternity of Pain, just boring and just went on and on and on. Which in some ways you could say that is about the Eternity of Pain, the Summer of Suffering, Autumn of Agony, Winter of Woe type thing. There's other stuff that's been redundant. Variants, Karina's challenges. A lot of this becomes very redundant, and do we actually need it? Over this year, there's been some good things and bad things. This is state of the game is from a content perspective, but there's stuff that Kabam have done which have gone a little bit further and beyond. Like, there are some positives. It's not all negatives. It's not terrible. Terrible takes away from the fact that Necropolis was an alright addition, right? There's 60 frames per second added this month. 10 free 7 stars added next month for free. People could pick up. Super Daily event, which was a test and then went perma this month. So we also had a Mega Days event. And the free 7 stars Kabam have offered. Chilf, another good example. And Kabam have given us the Kabam Jack's free 7-star code. So it's not just about content. There's also other things that have been good for the game. But also there's been things that are bad for the game. Or bad in the game. AI has been at its worst for years and needs to be dealt with because, you know, it's a big factor of the game. You play, you fight. And if the defender's not playing ball, then that's the key fundamental not working out in the game. I think that's the word, isn't it? Terrible. Like, you have to bring something to the table to kind of give a good overview. I would say that Kabam had this kind of really kind of like downward spiral, and then towards the end part of this year, what they've been working on, 60 frames per second, Super Daily event, a few other improvements here and there, giving out free 7 stars, and other stuff has kind of like got this upward trajectory of things. That doesn't mean to say we aren't across the line with saying this game is perfect. It is far from it. There are still issues that need to be resolved. But I think it's that word terrible that's kind of like a bit unfair. And yeah, as Shield puts it, like it's made a lot of improvements. 60 frames per second, permanent super event, realm events. Realm events have been a good addition. I forgot about that, which is good personally. It does get everyone engaged, and I hope to see something that's banquet orientated come December. That'd be really exciting. There are definitely some worthy points to kind of open up further discussion, and definitely what Wicket was saying, you bring up some legitimate points, but when you lead with an unnecessary dig at people, you're inviting these people to comment on your insult and not on the actual content you said. And that's kind of like, yeah, just says it perfectly. There's a lot more kind of discourse and discussion with the matter at hand. You can go and have your say in the link in description and add it to it. And yeah, Pinwheel says lots of discussion here, and because it's trending back towards respectful and constructive dialogue, I'm going to leave it open. But please remember, I don't know why people don't do this. Like, people can nowadays, right? They fall out with each other and they hate each other, and the way they frame stuff is in such a way that it's just like, they can't be friends ever again. It's like you should always try and at least break bread with your enemies and kind of discuss stuff, because you might find you have like common ground, or at least things you can necessarily agree on, which this kind of post, which is good, kind of like went around that particular way. So that's very good and became constructive. So it doesn't get closed down for once. Isn't it nice when we have a bit of good discourse? But yeah, there's some good things that are going on at the moment in game. If we didn't have some of those stuff, I'd probably be saying that the state of the game isn't as good as it should be. And hopefully by the end of the year and going into next year, we see a good pitch. I would like to see a roadmap, but I don't think we're going to see a roadmap with Kabam. But it would be nice to see like what they plan for the year, unless they're doing it as part of their not giveaways, reveals. But no, I don't think that's the case. Anyway, what's your thoughts on the state of the game? Put it in the comments. Check out some other content located on screen. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.